July 2020. The Japanese-owned bulk carrier Wakashio crosses the Indian Ocean empty, bound from China for Brazil. Directly on her path lies Mauritius. A giant of the sea, nearly 300 meters long, 203,000 tons deadweight, built in Japan in 2007, 20 crew on board. She left Singapore on July 14, bound for Tubarão, Brazil. The approved plan would take her past Mauritius at a safe distance. But at sea, the master shifted the track to just 5 miles off the island, chasing a mobile phone signal. Nobody checked the new course against the charts. On the evening of July 25, a birthday party was underway on board. Phones were out, hunting for a signal. No one was truly watching the sea. The electronic chart in use was made for open ocean sailing. At that scale, the reef around the island barely existed. On screen, the ship was heading into empty water. A shore radar saw the giant closing at full speed. Radio calls went out, again and again. On the Wakashio, no one answered and no one changed course. At 1925, making 11 knots, she plowed onto the reef at Pointe with nearly 4,000 tons of fuel in her tanks. She sat fast on the reef, in full view of the beaches. Tugs pulled, and failed, while the winter swell worked on her hull. On August 6, the hull cracked. Fuel oil poured into coral gardens and mangroves, toward the Blue Bay Marine Reserve. About 1,000 tons escaped. Satellites watched the dark stain spread. Mauritius declared a state of environmental emergency, and called on the world for help. The islanders answered first, tens of thousands of volunteers, sewing booms by hand from sugarcane straw, cloth and hair, to hold the oil back. Then a race against the sea, pumping out the fuel before the hull gave way. Crews saved some 3,000 tons. On August 15, time ran out. 21 days after the grounding, her back broke and the great hull split in two. The bow was scuttled in deep water, the stern dismantled on the reef. Days later a tug, returning from the wreck, sank in heavy seas, 4 seafarers were lost. The lagoon paid the price, kilometers of oiled coastline, and dozens of dolphins and whales washed up dead, a link never officially confirmed. Investigators found only human choices, a course changed for a phone signal, a chart that could not show the reef, a watch that was never kept. The captain and chief officer, 20 months in prison. The lessons are old ones, written again in oil: follow the plan, use the right chart, keep a lookout, and never let routine steer a ship onto a reef.